The Remains of the Day is a book about a man who is traveling because he wants to see the countryside in England. The man is recalling his life and stories from the past as he is doing so. So, in a way, even though it's a fiction, it's a memoir because the man is recalling his days of servitude, and he is the butler of a place called Darlington Hall. And he's a very fine specimen because he has a really good eye for detail and specificity. His father was also a senior butler, and he recalled and regales in the memories of his father being an amazing gentleman. His father is a very finite human being with a finite understanding and sense of humor. And he doesn't walk around eggshells on him because he also wants to be a very good butler. But the story is not about his father. The story is about this gentleman who is so driven by his passion and sincerity towards this profession. Inevitably, you will find his opinions and his ideas on various things quite clinching. You will enjoy reading them, and you'll feel that, oh my God, I haven't spent this time in waste. I mean, this time has been not been wasted by me. I love the English. I love the atmosphere created by the book. There are many short stories. There's a Miss Kenton who was the housekeeper at the time, and his conversation with her is so unique because every single time he says something, you think about how not normal his way of thinking is. His life is purely dedicated to his profession. And there are not many professions that remain in the world where a person makes every single derivative decision based on his profession. So he really wants to be a good butler, you see, and he does everything within his power to be one of the greats. And he compares himself to Mr. Marshall and Mr. Lewis. I'm not sure if Lewis was the name, but I'm just saying. And he aspires to be his father or beyond him. And in the while dealing with the call of duty, there's nothing that can get to him. It's not as technical as you might think from this dialogue that between you and I. However, there were many moments in the book that I loved it as a memoir. It really evoked this feeling of nostalgia and what have you. I believe there's suspense in the book, and I'll leave it at that. But towards the third quarter, the book started peaking in how much curiosity it evokes out of the reader. And in the fourth quarter, dude, it's just right there. You want to finish the book in one single sitting. I took all of 4 or 5 days to read it. I wish it was more because it was such a delectable read. I think it added a lot of substance to its character by the English that was used. And one of the major reasons you should read this book is if you ever want to improve on that English that you speak. I read a fair few books a year, but The Remains of the Day remains an outstanding read. And even though it's just January the 16th today, I've read 2 books this year, and I've been lucky. The first book I read was The Secret Agent by Joseph Conrad, and the second was Remains of the Day by Kazuo. I can't pronounce his name. He's a Japanese gentleman, but he lived and grew up in Britain. Anyways, I'm fortunate to read books which are helping me find my own voice as far as reading and wanting to be a writer is concerned. I feel every reader wants to be a writer. I really do. And having said that, I found The Remains of the Day to be a perfect 5 stars out of 5 stars. It's not every day that I give 5 stars to a book. Trust me, I don't. But this book deserves 5 stars because of how compelling it is, how heartwarming it is, and how endearing it is, and just how much of life beyond words has been put together by the protagonist. Like, he's nothing like you've come across. Trust me, he's just wonderful, a wonderful gentleman. That was my little take on The Remains of the Day, the book. My target for this year is to read 35 books. I've had a good year so far. I'm on my third book now, and I'll leave that for another review. Thank you for watching, guys.